Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your December 2019 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Sagittarius, and happy birthday to those of you who have birthdays coming up. Stay tuned until the very end because I have an extra card that I'll pull for you since we're in our season. It'll be a bonus birthday season card, so I hope you enjoy that. And just so you know, 2020 readings are going to be coming out soon, so make sure you're subscribed so you can get the big annual readings that I do. And you can also subscribe to my newsletter, which is also another way to get notifications if that's what you prefer, and stay in touch around other good stuff. I am going to lay this spread out and then we will get started. Okay, I'm keeping it simple with a Celtic cross this month and a timeline as usual. So let me start with the Oracle cards. I accept that good things come easily. I am a super attractor. Okay, so this is, we all have struggles around different things coming at different times or struggling with getting a particular piece in place. And so this is just reminding you that good things can come easily, but it's about kind of embodying the energy of it being easy. So that's more of the trick to getting into that space. So keep that in mind. If you can ask for ease or invite something to be easy, try playing with that energy and see what it does for you. And then we have a gape. The main thing coming up with this archetype in particular is like, what is your focus fixated on? And how can you adjust that to work for you, especially since you have I accept that good things can come easily. Part of that is shifting your focus wherever you can. Because zooming in on it's not working, it's not working, it's not working is like a prayer for it to not work. So this is all about focus energetically and spiritual focus for you. So just take stock of that, take inventory of that this month. The central energy for you is the Eight of Swords, not knowing. So again, it's the focus piece. It's understanding where are you putting your attention? How are you making that grow? The Eight of Swords is about being blind. And also, I would add to that feeling constricted or feeling like you're limited in what you're able to do. So let's see the crossing energy. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Maybe this has something to do with career or work or the way that you are focusing on your projects, feeling kind of stumped with that or like you're needing to adjust something. So the Eight of Swords is really good for reflection. Going into it with, okay, I'm going to be curious about this because you don't have the luxury of being able to peek around every corner with the Eight of Swords. It really forces you to get present. So I don't think that that's a bad thing by any means. It really is just about getting super, super focused within yourself. And I also see this as a reminder with all of this that you can't see exactly what's going on every step of the way. It's simply not possible. Like, it's not doable. You're not gonna be able to get that done. So you kind of have to be okay with where you are now and just setting all of your energy up so that you can get what you want. That's the main thing. This is really shifting you away from future tensing too much or focusing on the outcome really, really intensely. It's really pushing you into the present. And then what you have moving out this month is Judgment. So I think there was a lot of clarity. There was a lot of revelations that you may have had. But part of this process is, okay, I know what I want, but then there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that you're blind to. Things are rearranging, things are restructuring, reordering themselves for you. So once you've made that decision, then it's kind of like you just want to line up with that. You want to get into the energy of that thing. So the Judgment card is just saying, okay, the decision has been made, and now it's more about focusing on the work than the planning. It's more about the physical, the tangible, actually working on it, taking the action with this Knight of Pentacles, opposed to trying to just cerebrally map everything out for yourself. The oncoming energy is the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so again, it's sticking to that theme of being really conservative with your energy. It's an important piece of this equation, not scattering it super wide and not putting it all over the place, but instead refining it for yourself and really focusing in on the things that you're craving and wanting to create. So the Four of Pentacles, a lot of people consider that to be the poverty card, but I'm seeing it differently for you. It's more of how you're creating structure and boundaries around yourself and not giving energy to things that don't make sense for you. So it's kind of like you're not going to want to give a whole bunch of energy to something that simply isn't going to have payoff, right? That's not going to be effective. That's not going to work for you. So it's about refining that rather than squandering away your energy. You still have that option, right? It's not going to override free will, the fact that the Four of Pentacles is on the table, but I see this as you reeling in your energy. And then the outward manifestation is the Hierophant. Yep, once again, it's like the boundary piece, the boundary element is going to be super important for you. And refine, 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 refine. December is all about refining, and I think this is in preparation for 2020. Really, this month, just taking some time to maybe implement some stuff or get ready, set your intentions. Not necessarily biting off more than you can chew. That's not a good strategy. It's not effective. But knowing and understanding that you're going to need to go into 2020 with new boundaries, new ways of structuring yourself, kind of owning divine masculine within yourself so that you can create those containers and you can create opportunities for you to achieve more. It's kind of like you're going to have a harder time building a lot of stuff if your energy is scattered. So you're going to want to focus in on a few places that are really needing your attention. In the subconscious, we have the Chariot. I'm going to clarify this, but this to me looks like wanting things to move faster than they actually are. But remember, you're not seeing everything. So the Eight of Swords is like that reminder, nope, nope, nope. There's no reason for you to know how it's all going to play out right this moment. So let's see, to clarify, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Yep, you're going to need to leave some room for things to unfold the way they ought to, the way that's in your highest good, putting a little bit of faith in that, rather than forcing something, willing something into existence. It's like you're going to burn yourself out by doing that. So you kind of want to loosen your grip on the reins a little bit and just leaving some room for flexibility. Holding your vision, but not micromanaging every step is going to be really helpful. Now let's see the advice card for you. Eight of Pentacles, doing the work, focusing on what actions can I take? What can I do today? What can I make happen today with this pocket of time or with this pocket of energy that I have? And boundaries are going to help you not get into overload if that's something that you really struggle with. So the Eight of Pentacles is like, yes, needing to do the work, take the action, apply yourself, yes, 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 on all fronts. And there's also a reminder that there's a big part of the equation that you can't see. You just have to create structures and boundaries for yourself to operate within. And that's how you're going to become the most productive version of yourself. And that's how you're going to get led into the things that you really want. External influences, we have the Three of Swords. I'll clarify this one. Nobody likes dealing with the Three of Swords. Eight of Cups. Okay. So it seems like the Eight of Cups is a change in perspective. So it's like you go in thinking one thing and you come out thinking another. Something regarding either loss or you having to actively say, I'm done with that, is what's shifting your perspective. So there's something revolving around loss, grief energy, and grief energy can extend into anything. Projects, relationships, transitions as well. So don't forget that, like, if you love a job and you get a better opportunity, and so you have to leave that job for the better opportunity, there's going to be an essence of grief. There's going to be a subtext of grief in that, because all transitions come with grief. So it may not even be anything major going on. It could just be a leap from one thing to another, and that being something that has to be mourned, essentially, because we all have grief periods around all different things. And so that's what I'm getting here, is that there's a new perspective that's emerging as a result of you kind of shedding the old skin. Hopes and fears, we have the Magician. It's like there's, oh, I want to create this thing, and I'm also scared that I'm actually going to create the thing. So the Magician is showing up as the hope and the fear at the same time. I think there's, you know, kind of like the typical fear of success, right? What if this goes really well? What's going to shift? Or what if I do get this opportunity? What's going to shift? And that makes sense with the Three of Swords down here, not wanting, you know, it's kind of that being stuck between a rock and a hard place, just because it's really easy to find yourself in a position where you don't want to let go of what you already have, like this Three of Swords is suggesting. But you also really want that next best thing that you're moving towards. And so that seems to be the shifting that's happening. And also an aversion to the Three of Swords and that grief that's coming up. The outcome of the month, we have the Fool. Yeah, so there's something about like starting fresh that's coming up in this reading. Like all of this is leading up to the Fool. This is the beginning of 2020. This is the start of something new. Maybe a new practice or a new way of being or a new, yeah, you know, I just strongly advise against trying to start everything all at the same time, all in January of 2020. That's going to be a bad move. So I think this month really spend some time in contemplation and refining where your energy is going and what you're giving it to. Find your focus in December, and that's going to be way more helpful than trying to do everything all at the same time. It's going to feel like a breath of fresh air no matter what. You're not going to have to force that. You don't need to artificially create anything in order to push that energy. It's going to naturally hit the reset button. So just kind of prepare yourself, get all your ducks in a row, figure out what your plan is, and just go into it with that creative energy of, yes, I'm creating new things, but I'm also letting go of old things that no longer serve me. Okay, let's get into the timeline. First, second, third, and fourth quarter of December. These are oracle cards, by the way. So the first quarter of December, we have awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, and integration. Okay, so that's definitely clear. Also on point with the Eight of Cups, that shift in perspective, just kind of like waking up to maybe where you want to put your energy. Again, that's what everything is, right? Figuring out what can I focus on, how can I refine it. And so you're waking up to the core desire and where your energy is at now in present time relative to what you may have been doing before. Quarter two, we have soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So recruiting support, wherever that might be, leaning into community, maybe one that you already have or one that you would like to build, considering what that might feel like, having really good community support and kind of rolling with that energy. Third quarter of December, the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. And I see this as this is the Three of Swords, Eight of Cups situation in this third quarter. Obviously this is a general reading, so this is going to be more fluid in terms of the time frame. So I'm not going to say, yes, definitely in the third quarter. That's not what I'm saying. But just understand that kind of walking through the fire, the initiation piece of that can sometimes feel really, really uncomfortable just because you're being pushed into a new direction, a new way of being. And so you're really being pushed in this third quarter, however that's showing up. And then wrapping up the month, we have don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? What are you hiding from? Like, is there a part of you that feels like you need to hide, withhold, constrict, restrict yourself from saying or doing certain things? And just playing with, how can I show up more fully? All right, now let's do a 3-card pick. You're welcome to ask a question, ask for guidance, clarity, whatever it is that feels good to you. Card number 1, King of Cups, trust your emotions. So the emotional piece here, just a reminder that your emotions aren't lying, they're giving you information. It might be on something that needs to be healed, it might be on your actual desires. So think about, like, if you're disappointed, then that means you want something, right? There's a longing there, there's information in that disappointment. Same thing with joy, pleasure, celebration. That also has information for you. And so the King of Cups is saying good, bad, happy, sad. The emotions are telling you the information that you need, so trust that. And then card number 2, we have the 7 of Pentacles. Watch yourself for the energy scattering. So sometimes this comes up as like an advice card, like, yeah, scatter your energy a little bit more. I'm getting this as pay close attention to what has already started growing or what has already started budding, if that makes sense, especially with all of the plants that are showing up in this. I'm getting that based on what you've already planted, the ways that you've already scattered your energy, it's important for you at this time to look at, okay, what's growing now? What's happening now? What am I seeing evolve now? And then trimming the excess, trimming the fat, so that you're not leaking energy into areas that aren't bearing fruit. And then card number 3, we have the 9 of Rods. Yeah, 9 of Rods. So part of the issue with the 9 of Rods is, 1, it's cusping burnout, so you might want to check in with yourself on that. And 2, it's like you're moving so fast that you're tripping over yourself, and so it can actually create more problems if you don't slow down. So this is just a warning, like, hey, you might be pushing it a bit too much. Consider, taking a break or cooling it down a little bit, just for your own sanity and getting the things that you want. Because it's something that you don't want to be moving so fast that it's creating more issues, more ruptures, more problems as time goes on. So just consider delegating and moving something off of your plate, figuring out that next step that makes sense for you. And then your birthday bonus card. I live in truth. Okay, so the main thing that I'm getting with this card is it really reflects the don't dim to fit in. I think this is the energy that you're going to be bringing into 2020, right? We have the Fool, also like that big reset button by the end of the month. In line, I live in truth is a practice, right? Being really honest with yourself, knowing what you desire, not shrinking yourself in order to make others comfortable or to perpetuate cycles that you have before, but instead allowing yourself to be the most authentic version of yourself possible in all circumstances. And so the I live in truth is just really driving that home for you this month. All right, everybody, that's all for your December reading. Don't forget to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs if you haven't already watched all of them. And if you would like to stay up to date and get notifications on when I upload new videos, you're welcome to subscribe or take a moment to sign up for my newsletter if you prefer to stay in contact that way. Also, check me out on Instagram at Onyx Healing. And as always, if you would like to work with me one-on-one, you know I'm available. Akashic Record sessions, meditations, classes, all sorts of good stuff. Go to onyxhealing.com for all of that info, and I will talk to you all later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.